dear friends. In the last lecture we have seen different switching characteristics of the power bipolar junction transistor. Today's session we are going to learn about what are the difference between power diode and power BJT based on the function, structure, operation, switching speed, voltage drop, current handling capacity and the applications. Let us go to the tabulation. As far as this function category of power diode and power bipolar junction transistor is concerned, in this power diode, current will flows from only one direction. At the same time, bipolar junction transistor also current will flows only one direction, but it can be controlled by a small input signal. That's what we have seen in the last switching also, base current. So base current which will control the current flow of collector to emitter or emitter to collector based on the configuration NPN or PNP transistor. Then normally the power diode, it will be used for rectification purpose. So but in this power bipolar junction transistor, it is normally used for amplifying the electrical power. Based on the input signal or based on the base current, we can amplify the output power, we can vary the output power. So that is possible in the power bipolar junction transistor. At the same time, power control, it will not be possible in the power diode. Then as far as the structure is concerned, in the power diode, it has simple two-layer structure. At the same time, power bipolar junction transistor, it has complex three-layer structure. Why it is complex when compared with power diode? As it has three layer, the complexity is more. That is the reason why the power bipolar junction having the complex structure. Then second one, it has only one junction. So as we have two layers, automatically we will have one junction. At the same time, in this power bipolar junction transistor, it has two junctions. That means it has three layers, PNP or NPN. So automatically we have two junctions. Then this structure wise, in the power diode terminals are anode and cathode. At the same time, power bipolar junction transistors are collector, emitter and base. So collector and emitter are power terminal, base emitter is the control terminal. Then operation wise, so this power diode is passive device. Why it is passive device? There is no other terminal to control the switch, or it will not amplify the power, or it will not vary the power. At the same time, power bipolar junction transistor is an active device. It can control and the power and it can amplify the power as well. So then when it will conduct by power diode will conduct only when anode is positive and cathode is negative. Whenever this junction is forward bias, then only it will conduct. But in this power bipolar junction transistor, when this collector base emitter junction is forward bias, that means for NPN transistor, whenever we will give positive base current to the base, then only the current will flows from collector to emitter. Then in this power diode, it will block when reverse bias. That means whenever anode is negative and cathode is positive, it will be in reverse bias. Then, but in this power junction transistor, when base emitter junction forward bias, BJT will conduct. Whenever the base emitter junction forward bias, BJT will conduct. Then switching speed, typically fast switching speed power diode when compared with usually we can say we cannot compare as far as the switching speed is concerned in power diode and power bipolar junction transistor. The reason is the switching speed, we don't have any option of third terminal to switch on and switch off. So once this, it will break the forward breakover voltage, it will start to conduct. So typically it is having fast switching speed, power diode. At the same time, we already learned about reverse recovery time. If the reverse recovery time extended, it cannot be applicable for high frequency application, high frequency on and off time. If the reverse recovery time is more, we cannot use this power diode. At the same time, this power bipolar junction transistor, low switching speed when compared with other transistor family, for example MOSFET and IGBT, etc. However, many switching application it is applicable. Then next category is voltage drop. Forward voltage drop of power diode is relatively low, very less forward voltage drop. But in the power junction, bipolar junction transistor, forward voltage drop across the conducting bipolar junction transistor is higher than this power diode. But however, it depends upon the rating and specification of bipolar junction transistor. So power diode voltage, forward voltage drop is relatively low when compared with power bipolar junction transistor. But in the power bipolar junction transistor, relatively high when compared with the power diode. At the same time, based on the specification of bipolar junction transistor, it may vary. Then current handling capacity, it will this power diode can capable of handling high current. Then especially it will be used for the rectification of high power supplies, rectification of AC to DC conversion and all. Then but in this power bipolar junction transistor also handles significant currents. So it will be all normally used for medium to high power application. So they are less efficient than metal oxide silicon field effect transistor in high frequency switching applications. Then applications of power diodes are, it can be applicable rectifiers, freewheeling diodes, clamping circuits, voltage spike suppression. But in this power bipolar junction transistor, it is normally used for power amplifier, switching circuits, motor controllers, power supplies where moderate switching speed and amplifications are needed. I hope then control wise, in the power diode it is uncontrolled device, but this bipolar junction is controlled device since small base current is required to control the device. Complexity wise, no complex structure and operation in power diode is, even I have explained the one slide before the two slides. And the power bipolar junction transistor is complex structure and the operation. Why this operation is complex? We should have one control circuits to control the base current so that we can control it. That's why complexity of control is more. Switching functionality, then this power diode is normally primarily used for rectification and protection. Power bipolar junction transistor is used for switching and amplifications. When efficiency wise, power loss is less in power diode. In power bipolar junction transistor, power loss is more when compared with power diode. That's why efficiency is less when compared with the power diode. With this, we can conclude the comparison between power diode and this power BJT. The next section, we are going to learn about the difference between NPN and PNP transistor. Thank you. Wish you all the best.